Hello, and welcome to a brand new season of Will You Accept This Rose? I'm everyone's favorite host. It's not Tasha, Caitlin, Veronica Gail. Alongside me is Ben Harris and Haley Zemek. Guys, we have a brand new season, brand new Bachelorette. Are you guys excited for this season? How are you doing today?
Veronica, I'm so excited for this new season. School's out, it's summer. I'm ready for Katie. I'm ready to see these new guys. I'm all in, and I'm glad that I'm here with you guys tonight.
Yeah, last season of The Bachelor with Matt James was my first time watching any iteration of the show. So I'm excited, especially now that school's out and I have more time to just like do stuff like this and be on the podcast and be able to enjoy the show a little more. I'm excited to get into this season, and it was a good first episode. I was entertained, so let's get into it.
Definitely. I mean, I wish it was Paradise this summer, but I will settle for Katie. So new Bachelorette, Katie. Guys, what are your thoughts? What are we thinking? How do we feel? What's the vibe?
I loved Katie in Matt James's season, so obviously I'm still loving her now. I just think she has like this really good confidence about her, and she's very bubbly, and like how could you not love that about someone? So I feel like she's gonna bring a lot to the table with it being like her own season. She's not being overshadowed by other girls or losing time with Matt. It's all about her.
I'm a big fan of Katie. She was great in Matt's season. I thought she should have been one of the finalists or get a little further at least. Like I really enjoyed her. She was so over the top, and she's just seems like a cool person. So I feel like she was one of the more normal contestants on Matt's Bachelor season. So I'm glad now she's gonna get to have her shine. And like the way they introed her was a little weird. Like it went like a great hype up tape, and then like a weird like story about her parents' divorce when she was young, and then like just going straight into like she's fit, she's active, she's from Seattle, she's sex positive. Like it was just weird, like the way they introed her.
Her riding the bike through the like desert.
It was terrible.
And her just,
I hated the bike.
It was so corny. It was a little too much of
like all the intro stuff was just so weird.
The worst was, did you see the promo before the show started? It said "Via Katie" on a t-shirt she was wearing. I hated that. That was the ugliest thing. I don't even know. Like I have no idea what that means.
There was a lot of stuff going around on like Twitter talking about how like they lost their budget for some reason, so they had to like make her introductions and her promos like super cheap, and obviously you can see that. So we'll see how like the rest of the season looks in that regard, but that's what I saw leading up to the show.
I mean, I'm excited for Katie. I know a lot of people though that aren't excited for Katie. I do have to say that. Like a lot of my friends are really mad it's Katie, and I'm shocked they even watched Monday. They were like, I'm gonna watch for the men. I'm not watching for her. And it's also, I was reading online, this was the least watched season premiere of The Bachelor in a while. So that's kind of a big deal.
That's surprising.
Do you think it's like people like kind of protesting the show after all the diversity issues they've encountered lately?
I think it's a mix of that. And I just think it's a mix of, I think people, not everyone loves Katie. I think it's a mix of both. Probably more the diversity thing though than anything, but yeah, kind of makes sense.
Think about that.
Right. It's probably had some network effects, so they probably had to cut some costs. I mean, no big deal. We're not TV students or anything.
Also, I think a lot of people are mad it's not Paradise right now.
Ooh, is that like when that normally goes on?
Yeah, so it's usually
I don't really know the schedule.
Yes, it's usually Bachelor, Paradise.
Okay.
So, and I love Paradise, but we'll get her in August, so it's okay. She's coming. I can't wait for her. But along with the new Bachelorette, we also got two new hosts because, as we know, Chris Harrison has officially stepped down from the Bachelor and Bachelorette universe. So we have Tasha and Caitlin. What are our thoughts on the new host? Do we like that there's two? What's the vibes?
I like that there's two. I think it gives the show a little something different. Like there's more than one person there for advice, and like now it's women, so when it's the Bachelorette, like they have a little more connection. I love Tasha. I loved her season. I love her personality. I just really love her as a person. So I was really excited when she got announced as one of the co-hosts. And then I really hate Caitlyn. I've hated Caitlyn since she like started in the franchise. So when they announced her as the other co-host, um I was sad about that because I was like, oh no, this it could go really well, the two of them as a team, or I just I don't like Caitlyn and I love Tasha. So we'll see how I feel by the end of the season.
I have a little bit different perspective just because like I didn't see either of their seasons. I did see like the last like 2 episodes of Tasha's season just because I think that was actually the timing when we started Rose. When we started the show, I think the first episode of our series was the last episode of Tasha's season. So I know a little bit about her background, but I mean I don't have too big of an opinion. I think it's more just like a lot of people are upset about Chris Harrison just because he has been a staple as the host, but there's so many shows and different reality shows of all kinds, game shows, whatever, that have changes in hosts, and I don't think it'll be a big deal in 2 years from now if the show's presumably still going, but like I don't know, like I think they're good choices. They're a lot of fans like identify with them and like were fans of them on their seasons and stuff. So they were popular former contestants. So I think the move makes sense.
I think the move makes sense. I'm gonna be the guy. I don't like it. I thought I saw too much of them eating the popcorn, like
Oh my
so
God.
cheesy, so bad. Like, can we agree? Like, I wanted to see Katie. I wanted to see the men. I don't want to see Tasha and Caitlyn. So I didn't. That's why I'm not liking them, because of how much production is showing them, and I think that's the problem. I also think they could have done a better thing. Number one, a happy batch couple would have been a great host pair.
Oh my
Two
God,
people
I
who are
love that.
single. How cute would that have been? And then they can give like relationship advice and like talk to each other and be like, oh, cute.
I love that. You should pitch
Literally,
that to ABC.
Yeah,
ABC
and
hired
like
it.
Get Tasha and Caitlyn out of there.
Haley, you were saying yesterday that like the one couple that
Yes.
was on the show was like the only one that's still together.
There's like maybe 3 that are still together. There's like one that maybe has kids. I don't know which couple it is.
Okay.
But Tasha's still engaged. Who knows how that's going, but they post on like social medias a lot.
I
But
heard they're
no,
doing long distance now.
I
So
love that. I love
wouldn't that
that.
be cute? That was my other idea. My other idea was, you really don't need a host for this show.
No.
Like, you don't at all. I mean, the date cards can just come, like just appear. And then for the ladies and gentlemen, it's the final rose. Just show the camera showing one more rose. You don't need someone to say it. Or you can give the Bachelorette saying, gentlemen, this is my final rose of the evening. Like, you don't really need a host. So I don't know, when they give too much energy to the host who like, and they're really adding nothing for me.
And
So,
also like it's a difference between having Tasha and Caitlyn do this season of The Bachelorette versus like bringing in Emmanuel Acho, who's like a real like kind of somewhat celebrity. Like he was a pro football player. He's a media personality. People know him. But like these girls are only known from the shows. So like what hosting experience do they have? So like I understand why like the corny acting bits they were doing like didn't like really pull off that well. So like I think it's like they're just not professional hosts. They were Bachelor contestants. I think it's a little bit of a production difference there too.
I agree.
Even just like the comments they were making, like how you were like, oh, they were eating the popcorn. I think it was weird. The one time like Katie like thrusted and they were like, no, you behave, you little girl. I'm like, ew.
Cringe alert.
And then them going to like sneak up on her to like scare her that they're the host.
Oh
And
my
the way
God,
they
that
were
was so
laughing,
stupid.
I
Ben
hated
and I
that.
lost our minds at how like how funny they thought it was.
I mean, we got to get into the meat of the episode now. Everyone's favorite part of a premiere of Bachelor or Bachelorette are the entrances. Are there any entrances that stood out to you guys in a good way? We'll get to the bad ways later.
Good. I thought that the box was really funny. Like, I actually said to Ben, what if he's just in there the whole night and Katie never opens it? What if he's in there the whole season because Katie never opens it and just keeps him there? I thought the ball pit was really fun. I don't remember who what his name was that did the
I think it was Trey, I want to say.
I thought that was just fun. Like, who isn't a kid at heart? So that was another one that I really liked. Just in general, I hate when they're all in the limo and they all are just like, Katie, please stop, please.
I want someone to hype me up that much as the men in the limo waiting. That's my goal.
I don't know. I also really liked the box guy. I thought that was funny. I think it would have been hilarious if like we just saw shots throughout the season of like all the other guys doing challenges. We saw the preview of like them on the ranch. Like imagine like there's all the guys on the ranch running around doing whatever they're doing, and then there's just a box like off to the side because she just like is like, I want to keep it interesting for a few weeks. Like that is so funny to me.
It's like concept. Love is Blind.
I thought of my other one that I really liked. I couldn't think of what it was. What was his name? Oh, Andrew. He's the one that was from Austria.
Yeah.
I loved Andrew.
Yes.
I loved Andrew.
As soon as he started talking with the accent, I turned to Ben and I said, Ben, I love a man with an accent. And then he stopped and he's like, I'm from Chicago or Boston. And I was like, sir, I liked you. And now I don't know if I like you as much.
Like I even wrote down that he's awesome. And then in all caps, I wrote, what? No way. He was lying. He's got a great accent though.
I was very upset. My heart broke when he lied about his accent. When I found out that wasn't real. It was so funny. So funny. I have to say, I do have to point out anyone who had a bold entrance. Katie entered Matt James' season very boldly. I'm going to put it like that. So the people who matched that energy, I enjoyed, you know?
Yeah, I don't like the artist guy, the guy who kind of looks like Yankees designated hitter Giancarlo Stanton. But
you liked his intro.
He did pull like the paintbrush move, like kind of emulating what she did for her season, which I thought was funny. In terms of like all the people who like did her thing, like the sex doll guy was absolutely not. No, too far, stupid.
I thought it was funny. It worked because she did the whole, like if she didn't do that whole bit, it would have been weird. But because she did that whole bit prior, I like could work with it.
They were like, they just pulled a Katie. They just did her trick on her. Oh my god.
Yeah. I like overall I thought like a lot of the guys were like either normal or like they like did something that was cool. Like I like the guy who did the watch. Who was that? Who did that?
Oh, I don't know who that was. Wasn't it like, oh, it's a family heirloom?
Yeah, like and he was like, oh no, that'd be crazy. That was so funny to me. And then the RV guy, in my opinion, is a plant. That was a plant.
I hated the RV guy. I'll say right now, he was my least favorite man.
Him crunching on the celery. Oh my god.
There's no way that was real. That had to be a producer thing.
He's from Jersey too.
He's from Jersey.
I cannot believe he represents my state.
From Jersey.
Yeah.
Thank God I have Greg because I need someone to represent my state. I think we're gonna get into Greg later though, so we'll save that.
Also, Haley, the sex doll guy is the guy who, as he got out of the car, you yelled "ew" at the screen.
It was the sex doll guy. I thought it was the car mechanic from Queens.
Yeah. No, I'm just kind of going through my notes of like all the guys' intros, and like I wrote down Courtney sucks, has a weird shaped head. Also, him spelling his name with like a Q was like a big deal, and that was stupid. And like I still can't stop. Can we get to the most important part of this conversation? Can we get to the cat guy?
Yeah.
The cat guy. Oh my god. What's his name?
Connor B. Love him. That's a lie. I don't know if I love him. Take it back.
I thought the cat was really funny at first, and then throughout the thing, every time like it was like normal shots of like all the guys interacting in the house and like in their suits and stuff, and then you would just like see him in the background or like he's in the shot, and I would lose my mind because imagine like showing just like those like little clips of him that were edited in the background of this place where all these people are dressed up to like someone who's never seen this show before and doesn't understand what just happened. Like I thought like just that like isolated media was so funny. Like just there's this guy in a cat suit surrounded by, and of course he's the guy that gets the kiss. Like, oh, crazy, insane.
I thought it was funny when he's walking back to the door, like after saying bye to Katie, he's like pawing on the door to get in. Like, this man worked the angle. He was a cat. Like a 10 out of 10 acting performance. I don't know that. I don't know. The entrance was cute. I like the entrance. But then as we go on.
Yes, it became a little much, and it was hilarious seeing him in the cat suit at the final rose ceremony.
You know who he reminds me of? Not like weird like Catman vibes, but just in general, he reminds me of Tasha's fiance, Zach. The night that they did introductions, he was kind of like quirky and fun. Like, he wasn't super like attractive, but he had a good personality. Like, people kind of remember him. And then like as the season goes on, it's like slowly but surely you kind of like love him. And I feel like that's how I'm gonna feel about Catman. Unless he leaves super early, then I won't. But like, who knows? Catman.
I have a feeling Catman's gonna make it kind of far.
He's gonna be here a while, I feel.
Like, I think Catman's into some weird stuff, and that's the vibes I got from him. Like, I'm scared of Catman, like a little bit. Like,
well, he's a weird math teacher too. That like he was singing on the ukulele. He's quirky.
He's quirky. He's crazy, and he's the class you would go to like eat your lunch in on the day your friends aren't at school. Like he's the teacher you go to for help when you're having a bad day at school. Like he just has like nice teacher guy energy. I don't know.
He seems like he would be a great teacher though. Just maybe not a great contestant on The Bachelor.
It's so funny though. He's just in the cat suit the whole time. Oh, I can't stop thinking about it. It was so like every time the camera just cut to him at like a random time, it had me laughing so hard.
So after we did our entrances, we got to our first impression conversations. Which conversation stood out to you guys?
As I was talking with Ben last night as we were watching, I didn't really remember much that was talked about, just because it's always like your family, the introductions, like, I'm so happy that you're picked as the Bachelorette, Katie. But I think it's cute when it's like little things that like stick with you. So like Greg saying how his family is huge and he has all these nieces and nephews and siblings, and how his little niece made a macaroni necklace for Katie and he gave it to her. In my heart, I was like, that's the cutest thing I've ever seen. And I was so happy.
I love our Edison, New Jersey King, Greg. We both agreed that he has Peter Parker energy, and
he has such Peter Parker energy.
That's
absolutely
Peter Parker.
Oh my god, yes, no, he 100% is. Oh my god, I'm shook from that right now.
Did you just have like a massive realization?
Yes, I'm freaking out. I literally almost cried over this man. He hands her the macaroni necklace, single tear. Like, wow. I love him.
Drama.
He's like quirky. So
he's a smooth guy, except like he was super nervous. Like, he's very honest. Like, I like the guy. I think he's respectable. I feel like he definitely, after their like one-on-one combo and like him just being a nice guy from the bat, like I feel like he deserved the opening rose that he got. Not to get a little ahead of ourselves, but like honestly, that was the only conversation to me that was memorable anyway, and I think it ended up being what got him that rose.
I think it's more of like what happened during the conversation. So like, I remember they sat in the back of the pickup truck in the ball pit for their first conversation. They went into the RV and had the veggie platter on the dirty sofa. The one guy, the artist, showed the painting that he made for her. So it's like more what they did during their interaction than what they were like actually saying.
I do have to say, I need to talk about not our New Jersey King, but our New Jersey bottom of the pack, Jeff RV Man. Bro, I hated it. First off, okay, I am a little biased. I'm more of like a city girl. Like I have no need to go camping ever. I see an RV, I'm like, not my vibe. But you know, you walk into the RV, like you're going on a date. Clean up your RV. Like everyone, like
threw underwear.
Like he threw underwear. Like
that's what I'm
literally
saying.
disgusting.
It was too
Like,
it was too
disgusting.
over the top and obvious for like him to be like taking her into this beat up RV and like throwing his underwear over the place to not be a producer plant. I think it was a gimmick. It's all smoke and mirrors, y'all. I have
Also,
Bachelorette conspiracies going on right now. That was a plant. I know one when I see one.
Oh, you know a conversation I remembered that I hated, and I know Ben hated it too.
What?
This man, Michael, he brings out a cute photo of his dog that he left at home, and then he talks about his 4-year-old son that's also at home.
Yeah, it's just bad parenting.
Yeah, wait, that was weird. What? No.
Like,
why did you not also bring a photo of your son?
Yeah,
like,
that's what we were saying. Like,
but not the
if
kid.
if you're willing to just like up and leave your 4-year-old impressionable age son, like just at home and just to be on this dating game show, and also like not value him enough to tell his story, and then just show the picture of the dog.
That's so funny. Oh, again, not really the conversation, more of what happened. What was his name? Brendan, the hockey player, when he gave her his coat and they were playing hockey, and then all the guys
I love
came out. That was really fun. Like I like when all the guys
really
like do
cute.
stuff.
And
together.
remember, Katie was freezing during that. Like we were talking about how like she looked so cold, and then she had the guy's jacket on too. Like, meanwhile,
That
they
was
were
really
all
cute.
super sweaty for some reason. I even wrote it down.
You know a first conversation we forgot about.
Huh.
Boxman's introduction.
Boxman!
Oh yeah.
I love him.
Here's the thing. I do have to say one thing though. If you're gonna hide in a box for like half the episode, when you pop out, like you gotta be hot AF. Like you have like I'm waiting, like the anticipation for what you look like is building. He wasn't hot enough for me to be in a box.
I told Ben Gatsby vibes. I think he's attractive.
Yeah.
Charismatic, and I love him.
The other dudes described him as well spoken. So that was like, oh yeah, he reminds me. It's like real Jadena vibes, like doing that classic man thing. Like I don't know, I like James. I thought the box was a nice touch. Like I said, I think it would have been funny if it was just like a running bit that the box guy's just there throughout the season, still in the box. But I don't mind the first night reveal. I think he was hot enough to suffice box reveal. It's one thing, like you definitely have to be a certain level of confident in your looks to like pull off the box trick, and I think he
had a
was there.
Suit on.
Yeah,
cute. That's something there.
I feel like he could be a villain in this episode. I'm getting like such a weird vibe. Like
Veronica, I said to
hair.
Christian that he dresses like Jose.
There is though one entrance we have not talked about yet. Well, conversation. Catman and the piano.
The piano. All I could think about it was the making out, not the piano. I didn't remember the piano.
Either piano or cat suit. I don't need both. Like this childhood persona is too much for me. And then they make out and the makeup's on her face.
Oh my god!
I hated
weird.
that.
That was so weird.
Least favorite part of the episode. Like I turned away. I literally turned away.
It was so funny though.
And then
like
producers made him redo his makeup.
Yeah, we looked at it, like they made him redo it, and like it's just so weird. Like you just watched like the 30 best looking candidates you've ever had in front of you walk by, and you made out with the man in the cat suit. That's a decision she has to live with for the rest of her life.
I love it.
I hated it. She also made out with Greg.
She did.
He's
also
one of the
make
good
out
ones.
with Greg.
I'm surprised.
One of the good ones.
I'm surprised she didn't make out with Greg after the macaroni necklace. She only made out with him after the rose.
Speaking of roses, do we think Greg deserved the first impression rose?
Absolutely. Absolutely. I
agree.
thought he was fantastic.
See, the one thing I remember watching, and as Greg was going into the building, Katie like said something, and I turned to Ben and I was like, wait, what did she say? Like, I missed like what she said about Greg. I looked it up today and she said that Greg looks like her ex.
She has a
No
type.
way.
She has a type.
So I was like, it's either there's something about him or she is like, he's my type, I'm giving him the rose. You know what I mean?
Well, he
So
was also like, their interaction was good. I hope it wasn't just that.
good connection. Agreed.
Yeah. Unless
I
we're
love
having
Greg.
some producer magic pulled on us.
He is the
No, I
ex.
think Greg deserved it. He's an icon.
Yeah.
I do have to say, one thing I did notice, we see Connor talk to Katie, messes up his makeup. We see him then when Greg gets the first impression rose, makeup fine. We see him at the rose ceremony, makeup messed up. I think Connor spoke to her after she gave out the rose and they edited it out of order. I'm convinced.
Interesting.
Wow.
So Connor
No,
wasn't
but
even
me and Haley were talking about how they redid his makeup.
No, it still looked messed up to me. Like there was like gray. Like he
Yeah.
probably like didn't do a good.
Maybe.
It's a guy. Like he probably didn't do a good job. Not to like a guy who probably doesn't do makeup a lot. Guys
I
can be
did
great at
not
makeup,
observe well enough to notice.
but I
But I hear
observe.
ya.
I don't. So I'm curious, but it's interesting. Is there anyone who went home or stayed that you weren't expecting to?
Everyone who left, I was, kind of expecting whether it was looks or like the conversation they had. The one person that I thought was gonna go or I was hoping went and didn't was Cody, sex doll guy. I was really hoping he was out of here.
He was the last pick, right?
Yes. Because remember there was the fight, so they were like, oh my god, is he gonna stay or not?
Mm-hmm.
So-
Right. Also, the guy. What's his name? I have the chart up in front of me. Both Michael, the guy with the 4-year-old son that he chose to show the picture of the dog, and Hunter, the two of the
Hunter's
oldest.
ugly one, yeah.
Yeah, two of
Hunter-
the oldest
No.
competitors got through toward the very end of the rose ceremony. I thought that was interesting choices.
I think Katie is a little too pretty for Hunter. I said what I said. I'm not on here to be nice. That was my thoughts. But everyone else, I was personally fine with going through or leaving. I was like, okay, fair.
Christian was really mad about one person that I don't know who it was, but nope.
I don't
good
know.
for Christy, that's
I don't like Courtney going through. I think he has a weird head.
fine.
I don't mind Courtney. I think he's kind of cute.
I like
If you
Andrew.
want it.
I like Andrew a lot. I think
Oh,
he's
yeah.
one of my favorites.
I like the firefighter guy.
I just hope Katie wins.
Who was the firefighter?
There's one guy that's a firefighter. I just thought he was kind of cute. I also like firefighters are cool. I don't know.
Or name.
I also like John, the dude from California.
Oh yeah,
The bartender.
I liked him.
Definitely a lot of great contestants, but let's look into the future of the show. So are we excited for the season? How are we feeling?
I'm super excited when they showed what's to come. Shirtless men on a ranch, some fun stuff happening, and then not the best part, but one thing I'm excited about. Blake is back. I really liked Blake, and I think that him and Katie could have a really good connection. So I'm super excited for this season.
I'm excited. I think it'll be good.
I'm excited to watch the fellows get waxed. That looked like a fun part of the sneak
That was funny.
preview. I think that'll make for some laughs.
And really quick before we end this episode, do we have any predictions for the season so far, starting early?
I think Greg's gonna get really far, like top 5 far.
It's hard. It's really hard to say with the first impression rose because like watching Tayshia's season, first impression rose was Spencer. And I don't even think I think he was maybe top 10, but then he did not get much further. But then Matt's season was Abigail and she got really far. And then out of nowhere, it was like, bye. So I think Greg's going to go really far. I think Catman's gonna go far. And then I really I can't say anything else because I really have no clue.
I have such a hot take. I think Greg self-eliminates and she picks no one. I said it. I just feel it. I don't know.
That's
Wouldn't that be
you can't make that
crazy?
type of prediction.
I kind of agree because
that is
What?
my call right now. Because in the preview, he's like crying, all upset.
I was
Like
gonna
I think
say that.
something
He
big's
was
gonna happen with
crying.
Greg.
And he was super upset. And
He looks so
oh
upset.
god. Oh my god, we never
Like
mentioned-
something big is gonna happen with Greg. I
Can
don't know what it
say-
is.
I want to see what happens with Mike the Virgin. I just had to add that before
He
we
keeps
ended
making
it
a
out.
big deal. Like he's
I
like
think it's a
I
big
like
deal
there was
for
a clip
much.
at the end of the sneak preview where one of the guys was talking about like, why does he keep bringing this up? This is a weird thing to bring up to everybody. And I was like, yeah, like why is he just going around like, hey everybody, let me warn you as I walk in here. Like what? What's he doing?
I just had to add that because I'm scared to continue watching him and this unfold.
Definitely. Well, I think that's it for this episode of Will You Accept This Rose? Ben, Haley, thank you for being here with me. We're now going to be on a bi-weekly schedule, so keep an eye out in 2 weeks for the next episode. We'll see you next time.